6 steps to create an unbreakable habit in 2025. I know you want to create better habits for this year, right? That's actually part of your New Year's resolution, to have better habits. But how to do that? That's the problem. If you knew this, you would already be amazing at habit creation and sustaining good habits, right? But I'm gonna bring it to you 6 steps that if you do this right, you're gonna create unbreakable habits. But before we go through the 6 steps that will transform your habit creation, I wanna ask you a favor. I know you wanna grow. Let's grow together. Subscribe to the channel. It's going to make a huge difference in your life because you're gonna start receiving notifications about my videos and the videos that are gonna transform your 2025. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, give a thumbs up to the video, send it, share to people that you know want to grow in 2025. Now to the 6 steps. Step number 1 is identifying the trigger. What is the trigger that will initiate or motivate that new habit, that new good habit in your life? And triggering or cue can be initiated by sense of smell, by visual. For me, it helps a lot to create or to initiate my habits with a visual cue. I know a lot of people tell me, oh, I want to read more because I'm an avid reader. I love reading, right? So people tell me, well, how do I create this habit of reading more? Well, you got to start with making it visual, right? And we're going to talk a little bit more about this during the 6 steps, but this is the part where you identify how to create that trigger to initiate your habit. So let's talk about the step number 2, which is aligning your habit, your new habit, with your goals. A lot of people fail during this part because they have these dreams and these goals and they want to do this and that, but they don't align that with the habits that are going to be needed to be created for these new goals, right? So if my goal is to lose 10 pounds, for example, how can I achieve this goal if I don't create a habit of exercising, right? So when you are initiating a routine, a new habit, you have to attach that to your goals so you can more easily achieve those goals, okay? This is step number 2. Can't miss step number 2, okay? Now, we're gonna talk about step number 3, which is make it obvious. You have to make it obvious. How do I make it obvious, Rod? Well, let me go back to the point that I made in the beginning, which is make it a visual. Your habit to stick, you have to make this obvious for you to perform, okay? So in the case of reading more books, you have to get your book, the book that is aligned with step number 2, which is your goals, and you have to make it visual for you to initiate that habit. You can't think about a book and then have that book stored in a bookshelf somewhere or in your storage or inside of a drawer. That's not obvious for you to perform that habit. If it's not obvious, you're creating friction. It's going to be harder for you to perform that habit. So step number 3 is make it obvious, make it easier for you to initiate your habit. Remember, we're talking about creating an unbreakable habit, okay? This is important. So let's talk about the next step, step number 4, which is keep it simple. If my goal is to read more books this year of 2025, I can't sit down to read a book or start performing that habit and say to myself, I'm going to read 100 pages. No, that's too hard. That's too much, especially if you're initiating a new habit. If you have been an avid reader and you have the time to read 100 pages, go for it. That's amazing. But I'm talking directly to someone now that needs to start creating a new habit, okay? So you have to keep it simple. When you initiate that reading habit, you're gonna sit down and you're gonna read 2 pages sometimes, 3 pages. The most important thing is that you're completing this loop and you have to keep it simple, so this loop, this creation of this new habit is going to stick in your life, okay? It's going to be unbreakable. So keep it simple. It means that you're going to read those 2-3 pages, but you're going to start raising the bar. That's the beauty of it. That's just to initiate a new pathway in your brain that this habit is going to stick, that you want this habit to be part of your life, much like brushing your teeth and doing the things that you do on a daily basis. You want this habit to stick. So you have to follow this path, this system, okay? Let's talk about number 5, which is make it attractive. For a habit to stick, you have to be able to make it attractive. It's got to be something that you want for your life, okay? Nobody is going to twist your arm for you to create a good habit for you. That's not going to stick. I can be calling you and sending you a message saying, have you read your book today? Or did you go to the gym? Or did you do this? Or did you complete your schedule? But that's not going to be sustainable. That's why your habit needs to be attractive for you, okay? Obviously, if it's aligned to your goals, step number 2, it needs to be attractive to you. It needs to be something that you desire, okay? For us to grow, I know we're going to be doing a lot of things that are not attractive necessarily, that are not fun. A lot of times they're not fun to do, but the goal, the reason, the why you're doing that needs to be attractive. And this is the part that I'm talking about in the habit creation, okay? And let's talk about step number 6, which is very important, gratification. You have to reward yourself. This part is crucial for the habit creation because this is where that loop gets closed. And I say this because every time that you're going to initiate a habit, your brain is going to already think about the entire loop, and the gratification part is it's going to create anticipation in your brain. And the anticipation, it's proven by neuroscience that it's going to start releasing chemicals like dopamine, endorphins, that are going to make you feel good even before you initiated that habit. Look how powerful this is. This is why this is a complete loop. The gratification part is important because you have to reward yourself to complete that, for completing that habit, because that is going to make it stick, okay? So be grateful. Gratification is important. Rewarding yourself is important, that you completed that habit that is going to make you grow, the habit that is going to stick in your life, that good habit that you wanted for so long. You have to reward yourself. So your brain is going to be thinking about the reward even before initiating that habit. I hope that this made sense to you. I hope that you have your wildest habits, the biggest habits that you're going to create in 2025, and you start with these 6 steps. I'm telling you, you are going to create unbreakable habits in 2025. That's what I declare for your life. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.